In a small village nestled in the rolling hills of a faraway land, the sun was setting like a ripe orange, casting a warm glow over the thatched roofs of the houses. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming cherry blossoms, and the sound of gentle chirping of crickets provided a soothing background hum. In one of these houses, a young boy named Netaro lay in his bed, surrounded by the loving care of his family. Netaro's mother, a kind and gentle woman with a warm smile, sat beside his bed, gently stroking his hair. She was worried about her son, for he had been sleeping for a very long time, and she did not know what was wrong with him. Netaro's father, a strong and patient man with a deep voice, stood by the window, looking out at the stars twinkling in the night sky. He was praying for his son's health and well-being, asking the gods to grant him the strength to wake up and play with his friends again. As the night deepened, Netaro's mother began to tell him a story, her soft voice weaving a gentle spell around him. "Netaro, my dear son," she whispered, "the moon is full tonight, and the river is whispering secrets to the wind. The trees are swaying gently, their leaves rustling softly, and the world is full of magic and wonder." She paused, looking at her son's peaceful face, hoping that he would stir, that he would wake up and smile at her. But Netaro did not stir, and his mother continued to tell her story, her words painting vivid pictures in the darkness. In a forest far, far away, a little rabbit was hopping through the underbrush, searching for a special herb to heal a sick friend. The rabbit's fur was soft and fluffy, like the downy feathers of a bird, and its eyes shone bright with kindness and compassion. As she spoke, the room grew quieter, the shadows deepening, and the stars shining brighter in the sky. Netaro's father turned away from the window, and sat down beside his wife, taking her hand in his. Together, they watched their son, their hearts filled with love and concern. They knew that Netaro was a special boy, with a heart full of wonder and a mind full of curiosity. They knew that he would wake up one day, and that he would run and play, and laugh with his friends. But for now, they would wait, and they would tell him stories, and they would fill his heart with love and his mind with magic. As the night wore on, the village grew quieter, the houses darker, and the stars shone brighter. Netaro's mother and father sat beside him, their voices whispering softly, their hearts beating with love and hope. And Netaro, the boy who slept for 3 years, lay peacefully, his dreams filled with the gentle magic of his mother's stories and the deep love of his family. The room was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers, and the sound of Netaro's mother's voice was like a soft breeze on a summer day. She continued to tell her story, her words painting vivid pictures in the darkness. The little rabbit hopped through the forest, its ears perked up, listening to the songs of the birds. The trees swayed gently in the wind, their leaves rustling softly, and the rabbit felt the warmth of the sun on its back. As she spoke, Netaro's father smiled, remembering the times he had taken his son on walks in the forest, watching him chase after butterflies and pick wildflowers. Netaro's mother paused, looking at her son's peaceful face, and then she continued her story. The rabbit came to a clearing, and in the center of the clearing was a beautiful garden, filled with all sorts of herbs and flowers. The rabbit's eyes grew wide with wonder, and it began to explore the garden, sniffing and snuffling, searching for the special herb it needed. As she spoke, the room grew quieter, the shadows deepening, and the stars shining brighter in the sky. Suddenly, a soft knock at the door broke the silence. It was their neighbor, Mrs. Cato, who had brought some fresh rice and vegetables for the family. Netaro's father got up to answer the door, and he smiled as he took the basket from Mrs. Cato. "Thank you, dear," he said, "you are too kind to us." Mrs. Cato smiled and patted Netaro's father's hand. "I just want to help," she said. "I know how hard it must be for you and your wife to take care of Netaro." Netaro's father nodded, feeling a sense of gratitude towards their kind neighbor. As Mrs. Cato left, Netaro's mother continued her story, her voice weaving a gentle spell around her son. The rabbit found the special herb, and it was more beautiful than it had ever imagined. The herb was purple, with delicate white petals, and it smelled like honey and lavender. As she spoke, the room filled with the sweet scent of the herb, and Netaro's father closed his eyes, feeling the peacefulness of the moment. The night wore on, and the village grew quieter, the houses darker, and the stars shone brighter. Netaro's mother and father sat beside him, their voices whispering softly, their hearts beating with love and hope. And Netaro, the boy who slept for 3 years, lay peacefully, his dreams filled with the gentle magic of his mother's stories and the deep love of his family. The room was filled with a sense of calm, and the world outside seemed to fade away, leaving only the gentle sound of Netaro's mother's voice and the soft beat of his father's heart. As the hours passed, the moon rose higher in the sky, casting a silver glow over the village. Netaro's mother's voice grew softer, her words slower, and her pauses longer. The room grew quieter, the shadows deepening, and the stars shining brighter. Netaro's father put his arm around his wife, pulling her close, and together they watched their son, their hearts filled with love and hope. And in the silence, Netaro's mother began to sing a soft lullaby, her voice like a gentle breeze on a summer day. "Sleep, my dear son, sleep tight, may your dreams be sweet, and your rest be deep." As she sang, the room grew quieter, and the world outside seemed to fade away, leaving only the peaceful sound of Netaro's mother's voice and the deep love of his family. The lullaby filled the room, a soft and soothing melody that seemed to match the beating of Netaro's heart. His mother's voice was like a warm breeze that wrapped around him, making him feel safe and loved. As she sang, Netaro's father closed his eyes, feeling the peacefulness of the moment wash over him. He held his wife close, feeling her warmth and love, and together they watched their son, their hearts filled with hope and gratitude. The moon continued to rise, casting a silver glow over the village. The stars shone brighter, twinkling like diamonds in the sky. The room grew quieter, the shadows deepening, and the air grew still. Netaro's mother's voice grew softer, her words slower, and her pauses longer. The lullaby seemed to weave a spell around the room, making everything feel calm and peaceful. As the song came to an end, Netaro's mother gently stroked her son's hair, her fingers touching his soft skin. Netaro's father opened his eyes, looking at his wife with love and appreciation. He smiled, feeling grateful for this moment, for this peaceful night, and for the love that filled their home. Netaro's mother smiled back, her eyes shining with tears. The room was silent now, the only sound the gentle breathing of Netaro and the soft creaking of the old wooden house. The village outside was quiet, the houses dark, and the streets empty. The world seemed to have faded away, leaving only this small, peaceful space, filled with love and hope. Netaro's mother leaned forward, gently kissing her son's forehead. "Sleep, my dear son," she whispered, her voice barely audible. Netaro's father nodded, feeling a sense of calm wash over him. He stood up, gently stretching his arms, and then sat back down, holding his wife close. The night wore on, the hours passing slowly. The moon reached its peak, casting a silver glow over the village. The stars shone brighter, twinkling like diamonds in the sky. The room grew quieter, the shadows deepening, and the air grew still. Netaro's mother and father sat beside their son, their hearts filled with love and hope. As the night deepened, the world outside grew darker, the shadows stretching out like long fingers. But in this small, peaceful space, all was calm and bright. Netaro's mother and father sat together, holding each other, and watching their son. They felt grateful for this moment, for this peaceful night, and for the love that filled their home. The silence grew deeper, the stillness more profound. Netaro's mother and father felt their eyelids growing heavy, their breathing slowing down. They leaned against each other, feeling the warmth of their bodies, and the love that filled their hearts. And as they sat there, surrounded by the peacefulness of the night, they slowly drifted off to sleep, their hearts filled with hope and love. The room was quiet now, the only sound the gentle breathing of the three people, surrounded by the deep silence of the night.